What is LeanFIRE? And no, I'm not talking about the weight loss supplements LeanFIRE. I'm talking about the lean financial independence and retire early strategy. My channel is heavily focused on FatFIRE because a vast majority of my audience pursues FatFIRE, or maybe you just like the idea of spending over $100,000 a year in retirement. I've also talked about BaristaFIRE, which is a really interesting retirement strategy, and another one is called CoastFIRE, and I promise you I am not making up these names. I will link all of those videos in the description below. So FatFIRE requires you to have a high income and high savings rate to retire early in the 40s or 50s, making at least $100,000 a year in passive income. LeanFIRE, on the other hand, is on the complete opposite side of the FIRE spectrum, and it's easier to achieve because you're living a minimalist lifestyle, or you're retiring somewhere overseas where the cost of living doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. If you're brand new to my channel, my name is Sai and welcome to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to explain how LeanFIRE works, how to save and invest to achieve lean financial independence, and how the LeanFIRE strategy can help you retire in your 40s or 50s with a lifestyle that requires a smaller income. Now, you're probably wondering where you would retire or live with just $30,000, $40,000, or $50,000 a year. You can check out this website about the top 100 US towns with fewer than 10,000 residents. People on LeanFIRE also like the idea of retiring outside the US because the cost of living index for the US is ranked 27th, most expensive country in the world, and living overseas is a lot cheaper. Let's say you're all about the minimalist lifestyle and you want to just sell everything and not own any properties, and you could realistically live on $40,000 or $50,000 a year depending on where you live. And the downside of the LeanFIRE movement is that you don't have a lot of room to pay for luxuries. I've met some people who want to achieve LeanFIRE and just live in a van for the rest of their lives. This one guy I know wanted to retire somewhere quiet and doesn't want access to entertainment, restaurants, or anywhere that might attract outsiders, and that's what he called them. And he also doesn't have any kids or own a house. He just wanted to have a lifestyle that is very simple, and he wants to retire at 45, making $40,000 a year in passive income, and then he's going to supplement his LeanFIRE income with Social Security when he turns 62. So here's some things you need to ask yourself before you calculate the LeanFIRE number. Do you plan to own a house outright with no mortgages? Or do you plan to just rent or maybe even live in a van? And the housing cost will matter to most of you in your LeanFIRE strategy because it's usually about 20 or 30% of your total expenses. If you're going to rent for $1,000 a month, that's $12,000 a year just from renting a place, right? If you're going to have a mortgage payment of, let's say, $1,500 a month, that's $18,000 a year that could be eating away from your total LeanFIRE number. The other expenses you need to consider are your utilities, transportation, and groceries. Transportation will obviously depend on where you want to live. I've seen people where they just don't want to drive and solely rely on public transportation. If you live in a remote area, how far are you going to live from the nearest grocery store or a hospital? If you're already living a minimalist lifestyle, then the LeanFIRE strategy could be the right choice for you. What you want to make sure of is keeping your expenses as low as possible so that you can prepare for any unexpected expenses that exceed your emergency savings. By the way, if you're someone who's always writing emails, working on a school paper, or building a resume for your next dream job, you should check out Grammarly. Grammarly can proofread your writing and save you so much time and make your writing look professional. I've been using Grammarly Premium since 2018 and it saves me so much time from having to proofread my emails. I also use Grammarly to proofread my resume, which got me a job paying 6 figures in salary. You can get the free version of Grammarly and I will put my affiliate link in the description below. Let's say you're looking to retire with $40,000 a year in annual expenses. Your FIRE number is $40,000 multiplied by 25, which gives you $1 million in LeanFIRE number using the 4% withdrawal rule. If you want to be even more conservative and only withdraw 3% of your portfolio, then you will need a total of $1.33 million. So let me pull up my FIRE calculator and show you how it works, and I'll put it on the split screen right here. And let's say you're 25 years old, which is the best case scenario because you'll have more time to invest to grow to that $1 million in LeanFIRE number. You want to retire by 40 years old and you currently have nothing invested right now, so I'll put that at $0. Let's assume the market performs at 6% on average for the next 15 years. With 4% withdrawal rate, you would need to invest at least $3,500 a month to achieve LeanFIRE by the time you turn 40. And now, let's give you a different scenario. Say you're 30 years old and you want to retire by 45. With the 4% withdrawal rate and spending $40,000 a year, you would need to invest at least $3,000 a month to achieve LeanFIRE by the time you turn 45. Keep in mind that this calculator is just strictly in the stock market. And what if you had additional income coming in, like your military retirement pension or your Social Security retirement pension? Let's say you're 21 years old right now and you just joined the military and you're looking to retire in 20 years when you turn 41. I'm going to assume that you'll make $20,000 a year from the military, and keep in mind that you'll have to pay taxes on your pension. You would just need to invest $900 a month for 20 years to achieve LeanFIRE at $40,000 a year. I think your pension will be a lot higher than $20,000 a year, but I'm just using it as an example. If you're 50 years old and you're looking to retire in 12 years at age 62, depending on your Social Security retirement benefits, and I'll just be conservative and say $15,000 a year, you would need to invest at least $2,700 a month if you have nothing saved so far for your retirement. If you had $100,000 saved for your retirement already at age 50, then you would need to invest at least $1,600 a month to retire by age 62 with $40,000 a year. And keep in mind that the only thing we can't control here is the stock market return. And we could see an 8% return, 6% return, or maybe 10% return on average. Whether you're on LeanFIRE or FatFire, I always encourage you to invest as much as you can so you can achieve your desired retirement age. By the way, you can get our free FIRE resources, including this FIRE calculator, by visiting firesidechat.com/contact. You can also check out the Fireside Chat shop, and I have all of my stuff on my bookshelf at firesidechat.com/shopping. So how do you invest to get to your FIRE number at $1 million or $1.25 million if you're looking to spend $50,000 a year in LeanFIRE retirement? If you're looking to retire in your 40s or 50s, you'll need to supplement your income before you're eligible to withdraw penalty-free at age 59.5 from your 401k, IRA, or TSP. You can also do the 5-year conversion ladder strategy to withdraw from your retirement accounts in your 40s or 50s without paying taxes or the penalty. I did a detailed video on the 5-year conversion ladder strategy, and I will link that video in the description below. With my FIRE checklist, which you can download for free by visiting firesidechat.com/contact, you want to prioritize your retirement plan up to the employer match if your employer offers it. And you should pay off your debt and fully fund your emergency fund and stay debt-free throughout your early retirement. And when you get to step 6 to max out your Roth IRA and HSA, and then step 7 to max out your retirement, you're still setting yourself up to a solid retirement plan even if you don't achieve your LeanFIRE number. And also keep in mind that you can withdraw from your Roth IRA contributions at any time. You can also withdraw from your Roth IRA conversions after 5 years, and that's the 5-year conversion ladder I was just telling you about. You can withdraw from your HSA, and I have an early retirement strategy with the HSA, and I will put that video in the description below. My wife and I are investing more into our taxable brokerage account, which is a non-retirement account. This is the account we'll have to pay taxes on every year if we sell any stocks, ETFs, or mutual funds, or whenever they pay us dividends. We like to invest in dividend stocks because they have outperformed the S&P 500, and there's a different tax bracket for dividends. If our LeanFIRE number is $50,000 a year and we're only living on our dividend stock portfolio, the tax rate for dividends is 0% if our total income is less than $83,000 a year if we file our taxes jointly. So after we max out our retirement accounts and HSA with an 8% average annual return with that dividend stock portfolio for 15 years, we would need to invest at least $30,000 a year to have $1 million invested by the time we turn 45. How much we contribute to this portfolio and our desired retirement age is what's going to matter the most. And if we want to retire in 10 years, then we would obviously need to invest a lot more than $30,000. So if I invest $50,000 a year, then we will have $1 million almost 5 years earlier than our desired retirement age. By the way, if you need help with your personal finances, You can schedule a free one-on-one 20-minute financial coaching session by visiting firestarchat.com/coaching. LeanFIRE is more achievable if you compare it to FatFire, right? You still have to consider where you're gonna live when you retire. And living in California or New York City, it might be difficult to just live on $40,000 a year in income, right? And LeanFIRE is not for us because we wanna have luxuries during our retirement. Here are some other questions I want you to ask yourself when you start your FIRE journey. Are you going to have kids or someone else you need to support during your early retirement? Are you going to own or rent a house or somewhere else during your early retirement? The first step of my FIRE checklist needs you to figure out your FIRE number first before you move on to the rest of the steps. So ask yourself if you can live on $40,000 or $50,000 a year during your early retirement. After you figure out your FIRE number, this is where the fun begins. Before you start investing, you need to make sure you have a solid retirement strategy in place. It's going to be extremely difficult for anyone to retire when they're still paying $500 a month in car payments or paying $20,000 in credit card debt, right? I also recommend you have at least 3 to 6 months of expenses set aside in an emergency fund in case you lose your job, get into a car wreck, or have a medical emergency that could slow down your FIRE journey. You have to stay consistent with investing towards your retirement. If you're serious about the FIRE journey, you need to stop thinking about just investing 10 or 15% of your income towards your retirement. You have to start thinking about the maximum contribution limit for each of your retirement accounts, and like how to invest $20,500 a year to your 401k or TSP, or how to invest $6,000 a year to your IRA, or how to invest $7,300 a year to your HSA. And if you want to know more about how to create your investment portfolios to achieve financial independence and retire early, be sure to check out these 2 videos. So with that said, I appreciate you watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one.